Yeah, I just I'm like, I can't really read
Josh
this
went,
one very
"Wait,
well.
it's what she's talking about." I was like, yeah, I know, I know. I like my
On a Sunday.
Yeah, I showed that movie to my kids, to my high school kids, and when, at lunchtime, and one of the boys had to leave.
Not so tough now, are we?
That's right.
You get one complimentary drink ticket?
If you buy in advance.
It is fine.
Excellent.
Let's do it.
All this meeting in order. Roll call.
Lily?
Present.
Angela?
Present.
Ms. Candor?
She's absent.
Absent. She's absent. Lyons?
Present.
And Rosa.
Present.
Okay, so 4.
Public comments. This is time for the public to address the PAC on issues within the jurisdiction of the PAC that are not on this agenda. All comments are to be directed to the PAC and shall not consist of any personal attacks. Members of the public are expected to maintain a professional, courteous decorum during their comments. There's a time limit of 3 minutes per person. If you haven't already done so, please fill out name and address slips and give them to the PAC secretary. The PAC is prohibited by state law from taking action or discussing items not included on the printed agenda. Public comments on specific agenda items will be deferred until consideration of the item on the agenda. Cindy Bernard?
Hi, I can't stay for the whole meeting, but I did want to say I'm really sorry for those of you that were in the room when I was in the visitor center opening on Saturday. I was in a bad mood. I was a witch with a bee. And I said some things I probably shouldn't have said in public at the visitor center at that time. But I do want to speak to one of the challenges I think the PAC has with that space, which is the need for some criteria, which is what I was screaming about in the space. You know, when Anna and I came onto PAC, and I was chair of the PAC way back when, there was no criteria for what was hung in that room. The women, most of the people on the PAC were well-meaning women who've been around town for a while, who were not artists, no knowledge of contemporary art, no knowledge of, you know, they were just trying to keep it alive. And so we tried to sort of raise the bar a little bit for what was happening in the visitor center, with the belief that regardless of what kind of work you like, be it tourist trade kind of stuff of Joshua trees and rocks or whatever, or other things that might be more ambitious in their subject matter, that it should be made with intention, and perhaps thinking about those shows more thematically as a way to at least begin to unify the work on the wall. I just think that when it becomes as random as kind of what I think, I mean, I'm just gonna say it's a little bit random what's up there right now. Sunspot has a great history. I'm not sure what's happening with it right now, but if the criteria is only people make things with their hands, that's not enough criteria for what should be on the visitor center walls. It should be the best of what people make with their hands, or there should be some, I don't know, I don't want to outline and sound like an elitist witch with a bee, but I think we want that space, if we're going to use it for art, to represent the best of what we have to offer. And I'm not sure, you know, one could talk through ways of making that happen, but to me, if it's just going to be anything anybody makes, regardless of what it is, goes on those walls, then I don't think it should be used as a gallery anymore. You gotta sort of think through, to me, what you want that space to represent when you're putting work on the walls. That's all I have to say. That's my 3 minutes.
Thank you.
And I know it's hard, because I've been there. Thanks.
Thank you, Cindy.
I have to go.
Eric Menendez?
Hey there, good afternoon. I'm glad I saw Cindy because I forgot the meeting was today, so I did a U-turn and I was just coming from the printer and turning up that. I do want to piggyback off what she said. Ms. Angeles, I know you were at the event in the visitor center that we did after the Desert French Fest, and I think what you did there was awesome. The poetry and I know there were some songs and so forth. And I did see the exhibit. I was in there talking to, can't remember her, Aurelia, today, and it's a cool exhibit, but I mean, I get what she's saying too. We have published our Pride dates now. It's on the Visit 29 website. I'll leave a couple flyers here or at the front desk to for anyone that wants one. We are having our next JTGCA board meeting. I know you have some concerns, Chair Razzo, about electing myself of what I'm doing. I would like public participation. I think we've been pretty clear about that and going to all the desert municipalities and so forth. So feel free to join us. It's going to be at Yucca Valley's Town Hall. I don't have the room assignment yet, but it's likely going to be either the 1st of August, which is a Friday, or the following, the 8th. I don't have a room assignment or time, but likely 4 to 6. Public is welcome. We believe in transparency and inclusivity, as we know. So that's really all I got to say about that. I just wanted to announce the Pride, and I'll refer you guys to the website there. Thank you.
What are the dates on Pride?
It is November 15th and the 16th. I thought Andrew, I gave these to Andrew. I wasn't sure if you got them or not.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sure, thank you.
Oh, sorry, one last thing, back there. And I just want to also put on record my other request, the same as TVID, that if we could please have city staff for direction to try to get these televised so we could have a record of the meetings. I think it's very important, Keith. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, everybody. I miss seeing you guys. I have 2 things to report. The first is that the 29 Palms Music Series Committee, which is me, Audrey Philpott, and Jordan Ash, we did submit the Levitt Grant application, and we will know if we made the first cut probably mid-August. And if we do, we'll come back and we would love your help. And what it would involve is if we make the next cut for this 3-year series, 3 music series in Freedom Plaza, would be help with getting the PR out, because it's a public voting. They want, the Levitt wants to see that the public, meaning the entire Morongo Basin, votes to have this money and this music series in 29 Palms. So hopefully we'll make the next cut. We put in the best application we could, and so it's exciting, and we would love the PAC to be involved however you guys want to be involved. The second thing that I wanted to talk to you about is Sant Khalsa runs the Joshua Tree Arts Professionals, and it is a group that meets only like once every 4 or 6 months. And it would be really great if somebody from the PAC would attend, because I do attend, but I can't represent the PAC. It is all arts administrators, nonprofits, creative for-profits, people in the park, anybody who is doing, it's not for artists, it's arts administrators. And what we do is we network, we go around in the meeting, and everybody tells what's happening. And so it's a great place to find out sort of what the pulse is of the whole Morongo Basin. Landers, Morongo Valley, everybody is there. And it's a big group, and she runs a really good meeting. So Sant Khalsa, if you don't have her email, just write her and see if you can get on her email list for the next meeting. We had a special Zoom meeting last week, and it was about the California Arts Council is calling for new cultural arts districts. And there are currently, I think, 16 of them in the state. It does come with some funding, not a lot, but it comes with support from the state. So for example, Little Tokyo in Los Angeles has applied and is a district. Balboa Park and Chicano Park are each separate districts. In rural areas, they allow for larger areas to be part of the arts district. It doesn't have to be one like little neighborhood. The only one in the inland desert area is in Lancaster. It's in front of the Lancaster Art Museum, if you know where that is. It's called the Boulevard. So, can I keep talking a little bit? Sorry. So anyway, there are several nonprofits in Joshua Tree who are thinking of applying. And we want them to represent the entire Morongo Basin, not just, for example, Art Queen or Noah Purifoy. I think Noah Purifoy is wanting to participate, and High Desert Art, Test Sites, Andrea Zatel's place, she is thinking of applying. And whether we apply as a group, it would be great to have partners, you know, really important for the murals to be in the mix of this cultural arts district. So I'm just letting you guys know that that's happening. They don't allow, government entities to apply. It has to be a nonprofit connected to a government. But you know what, if 29 Palms did it, that would really make the rest of the Morongo Basin mad. And if we got the cultural designation rather than the whole thing. So anyway, I think we have a good chance of getting it. So anyway, I just wanted to open your eyes to that, and hopefully you'll go to the next JTAP meeting. So that's okay.
Thank you, Emma. We'll move into city report.
Okay, so I left a packet for everybody. And I'm not gonna go through this word for word, but I'm gonna kind of briefly overview what you have in front of you for us to assist in giving out your PAC grants, next week. Oh, sorry, not next week, next year. So, sorry about that. I have next week on my. I have next week on my brain for some odd reason right now. Okay, so, what I met with our Park and Rec department, who gives out the community grant, on their end. And I had them walk me through what their forms are, what their process is, and I think we can do something very similar. We can piggyback off of their efforts, that way we don't feel like we're reinventing the wheel and flying blind. They have, and again, I'm not gonna go through this word for word, but this is a handout that they give to potential applicants. This is the community event grant guidelines, information page. They have, the grant, this is their form for the grant application. And I have not absorbed this in any detail, but this, just so you know. And then they have a post-event report that they hand out. And of course, the contract agreement that we're all getting to know and love at this point. And the required tax information that we're requesting. And the way they process things, and if you want me to outline this in a quick PowerPoint, I can do that right now. But the way they do that is, the way they process their applications is, they bring in, they announce the times to bring in, you know, that they're gonna accept the application. Their staff, in this case, presents it to the city council, but in this case, we can present it, you know, to the PAC and say, we've received 8 applications and and then we can have the applicant give a 1 to 2 minute spiel, and then staff has no further involvement, we just hand it off and then you guys do your scoring. That's the way the community event grants are handled. This is just food for thought, just so we don't feel like we're reinventing things.
Yeah.
So if we wanna do something similar, I think we can have that discussion.
Yeah, I don't think we should do something similar. I think we should do something.
Exactly the same.
Yeah. Well, that's
Across all of these.
the less wiggle room, the better.
Yeah, so, and actually I think that sends a message that we're all doing everything the same way.
And it takes out the fact that, the learning curve that the community has to go through in order to fill out different applications, right?
This organization,
Get
this board wants this
associated with
information
and then
and
you're able to do other stuff too.
so if we do it exactly the same and have very similar forms and things like that, it should smooth the process over.
When do they do their, when do they accept applications?
September 1st through June 30th?
Something like that.
So maybe this is
That's for
something
the event date.
we could do, a workshop together. Like Carrie could give us space and we could workshop how to fill these out together.
It's not gonna be Carrie.
Carrie's like, what? That's not allowed.
I did not sign the approval request.
Yeah, that,
No, if we had
Hurts my
put
heart.
that to a vote, it would not have been allowed.
yeah.
So they do their applications in, the June 30th is when, it's
When they close it out, that's their deadline. And we can certainly have different deadlines
Yeah.
because we're on different schedules anyway, but I think, I really like watching them do their process, so.
Okay.
Just throwing it out there.
I just have a suggestion that we move that up, so it's not so close to the end of the fiscal year.
Yeah,
Just so
yeah,
we don't run into this.
Yeah.
yeah,
But
'cause
I think they do it because it's to the next one.
Okay.
yeah,
Oh, okay, okay.
yeah, so I think we can stay on our own schedule, we just need to modify
Yeah.
these forms
Yeah,
accordingly.
because
Oh, yeah, I just think
noticed-
for us, is like, we do it like right before the end of the fiscal year, and I was thinking, maybe instead of doing it in May, we start it, a month before that or something, just to give a cushion.
We can set up our own schedule.
Yeah.
Because if you notice on their application, it's, their deadline is June, the review process starts July 1st, so they do it in the beginning of the fiscal.
There we go, yes.
And that's why the events have to be held between September and
Okay.
June,
Okay,
so in order to.
that makes sense.
And do you know, where they host their online application? Is it through the city website?
It's probably considered.
I believe so.
Yeah, and then if that's a door we could wiggle into.
I'm sure we can, if we can do the same or similar things,
Yeah, all of them.
I think that'll ease up everyone's processes and everything. The other thing is, for the park administrator, we had a discussion as to whether or not you're on a year-to-year, what your time frame is. There is no end time, there is no.
I
term.
noticed that, I reread my contract and I was like, oh, there is no.
You're
end.
stuck.
Yeah.
Forever.
Until somebody fires me or I quit, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
So, we don't have to do a formal reapproval or renegotiating of the contract, she's here as long as you want her and as long as she wants to be here.
Thanks.
So there's that. Okay, that's my city report, and we're, like I said, I got next week on my mind already, so.
Are you on vacation? Nick?
No, quite the opposite.
If only.
Oh, it's the final budget.
No, not the budget,
City council
city council.
of land.
Yep.
Fun stuff.
Big hello boy.
Any other questions for city report?
Good.
Okay, cool. So with your permission, I'll meet with you separately and we can start working on our own unique process.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, one of the things I do wanna, that I don't know that, I don't wanna say Carrie, is it Scott now? Is Scott the new Carrie?
I think Haywood is gonna be stepping into Carrie's position as they try and restructure, but that's kinda up in the air.
That is that's a working solution.
Right now Haywood is the point person.
So, I don't know if when they do these applications, we certainly, I feel we had an indication that if you are a nonprofit, you get a little preferential, we like nonprofits. Do they, I've just been able to glance at this, but I don't see anything that says nonprofit status, is that something?
Well, they can be nonprofits or they can be businesses, but overall, what they look at the event is how is the event gonna impact the city, what is the benefit for that?
And can an individual who is not working, who does not have a DBA or does not have a nonprofit, can they apply?
That is a question that, for finance, we're working through, and I believe we can, we just have to do something a little bit different on the paperwork.
Yeah, I mean, if we're gonna follow the eligibility criteria, that's right here, right on the first sentence, it says nonprofit organizations, businesses, and individuals, so.
Yeah, we would have to remove that wording if we wanted to.
Well, and this is a starting point, not an ending.
Yeah,
Right.
so.
Thank you for this.
Can approval or motion to approve minutes, unless you have any questions about it?
Oh, I'll motion to approve the minutes from last night.
I'll second.
Lily,
Yes.
Angeles,
Yes.
Ms. Brandon has an excuse for absence. Lyons,
Yes.
Raza,
Yes.
4 opposed.
Budget, number 3.
it
Yeah.
has,
Yeah.
it's basically the year-end,
Okay,
budget.
so, we're gonna start fresh because it's a new fiscal year, and I believe your budget is $20,000 now,
Oh, is that true? Okay,
okay?
good to know.
I will definitely verify that, cause I was kinda rushing around today.
Okay.
And then, I know there's some, expenses still pending from the grant application company, so, what I think we'll do for next time is we'll send out, the reconciliation between this budget and what the city actually did spend. So, and then we'll come up with, the budget for this year moving
Okay.
forward.
That sounds good.
Okay?
Perfect. And so this, final number at the bottom, we're certain this is the 2037?
That's what it's looking like, unless somebody doesn't, there's like a couple grants that are out that are still being worked on.
Yeah.
And if somebody doesn't follow through, then I guess there'll be some more money for, no,
That's-
action
it's a-
29,
If
but.
it's a use it or lose, yeah.
Yeah, it'll go to action 29 and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
follow through, but there's, I think there's only 2 that are still.
Yeah.
Do we know which grants those are that we're still waiting on?
Yeah,
the from?
I think I just turned in one for Gretchen today. It's a Liz, she was one of the later ones.
She'll be on
She's
top of
getting mine,
it.
She'll get me her stuff. And then I think, it's the one that we had a lot of trouble with because it was an individual, A Sanchez. But they just sent me their stuff today, so as long as I didn't check it yet, but as long as it's all good, that should be sealed up too.
Great.
So we're wrapping it up.
I'm sure that Liz will get everything tied up too, that doesn't sound like Liz.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it, not worried about Liz, and she'll get me her stuff, she already told me she would, so, yeah.
Thank you, Liz. Well, that's the pending amount right now, Leanne.
Yeah, this is the, kinda like the Cinderella hour here.
Any more questions, budget wise?
Looks good to me.
Heather, thank you for all of your
Yeah,
comments.
truly. I know that makes everyone's eyes cross.
It's my least favorite, well,
Yeah.
not anymore, but hey.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's no need to,
This is their final budget, they're gonna start.
so there's no motions on anything, so, it's just an update.
And then the, public art master list.
Here's the master list, and whatever, if you have any other updates.
Yeah, I've got, cause I think you had a February date, but I do have a June 4 date that I'll resend to you guys.
I got it right here,
You have that one? Okay.
that's what's on the board right now.
Gotcha, okay. I thought I saw something on the 2/19/25, that was what it was in my mind. Yeah, that's the most current. With I need to get I think there were 3 murals that you said, Sarah, you, were adding to the inventory, and I need to get with you as to what those murals were
Yeah,
that you
I
were talking
added,
about.
well, I mean, it also is, that kind of also depends on how, when I was looking over the inventory, I noted that there was a handful of murals that are, well, they're technically accessible to the public, they are not like, you'd have to go into a location to view them, and so with that in mind, if that is part of the criteria, we have the 2 public murals that are in the courtyard at corner 62. Which is the second Boulder mural by Dana and Rich, and then also the 29 Pomeranians mural by Josh. So I added those 2 because those are accessible to public if they go in the courtyard, and then I also added the first Boulder mural, which is out front of Very Very, which is also by Dana Wonglavon. And then I had some questions about some murals on this list that I'm not sure are still there, but I don't know that we need to really get into that necessarily right now. But there was,
Yeah, I think Snakebite they saw their own.
that's updated, that has been updated. There is a, if you can scroll up, let's see. It's listed as a mosaic, and it is on, I'm trying to see where it is. It's on there's the Realty building with the beautiful Tommy Wonder mural of the hummingbird. Libby's Realty. So on this, what's listed for that building is listed as a mosaic. It's not listed as a Tommy Wonder mural. So I'm curious if there was something there that's been replaced, or if that is something that is, that's not as visible that I wasn't aware of.
You know, thank you. I need to correct that because, yes, there was. It was actually children who actually did a mosaic artwork. It was my understanding, now that you brought it up, that when I talked to the gentleman over at Libby's Realty, that Tommy actually painted over
Okay,
that work,
Okay.
unfortunately. So I do need to update and correct that that has been retired,
okay.
so.
That was the one that I noticed, and then there was a couple other I noticed, that maybe I'm just not aware of, but it seems like perhaps there was a painting of wildflowers or some sort of wild, flora, not fauna, on the side of like where the Thai Cafe building and everything is that I don't see. So, and again, I don't have the list in front of me that I put together, I don't see it right now, but there was a couple that I noticed that I was like, I'm not 100% sure that those are still up. Because what it's listed as, I can see from my storefront and I don't see it, so I can get with you personally on that too, Leanna, we can just double check.
Okay.
But for the most part, everything seems accurate, I just wanted to kind of confirm on this handful of things that I wasn't totally sure about. But that Tommy Wonder mural on the Libby's thing, I think is the main thing I was wondering about, so.
Any other questions? Then item number 5. Eric?
Oh, were you guys gonna present first, or you guys already did it?
Well, do you wanna speak on what was,
I was gonna hear what you guys had to say first. You're talking about the Arts Master Plan?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll wait until after, just so they might answer my question.
Arts Master Plan? Any notes on that, other than?
No, so I've included, the work that has been done so far, and to continue this effort, what we can do is I can set up meetings right now with the subcommittees who are involved in the various subjects, if you like, or we can get to, when we bring up those subcommittees, we can set it up at that time, doesn't matter.
Okay.
But, I would very much like to continue those efforts, because I think we're making progress.
So, maybe we'll knock it out in the subcommittee when we get to that stage.
I think so too, yeah.
I think my only comments on this were, I love, the way everything's being defined and the look forward. My only note would be, it'd be great if we could start getting some sort of, just style guide and use case sort of guide together for all the existing versions of logos and what things look like on wayfinding, on the road signs, on the trash cans, on the benches, and where all these
Oh, yeah,
things.
that's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, before we start trying to overhaul everything, let's see what colors, logos, graphics are already.
And inventory will like.
Do we know, is there like an official brand guide or the look on your face when I asked that question? Okay.
So there was a conversation several years ago, that the council had, and at the time it was Randy Council who was, in the community services. Because there was multiple designs and things that were all over the place, and they kind of narrowed it down and they went with the 2-9 exclamation, more of a thing to do for purposes of PR.
Yeah.
Versus all the other things, because there was a lot of stuff out there. So I remember they had a council, and the council agreed on that, like, for instance, sometimes they were using the city logo, and sometimes they were using the 2-9, and sometimes, in official capacity, they were using the wrong stuff.
Yeah.
So then they kind of separated that, city seals is strictly for city government stuff, and then for PR stuff, then they would move forward using
The 2-9 exclamation point. Do we know if that all is like in writing
Yes,
somewhere?
and that would be through the city clerk's
Okay.
office, they should have the minutes of the
Cool.
conversation.
Now, that's probably an official decision,
Mhm.
Yes.
whether or not there's an official document.
I'd just be
or something.
interested to see
Yeah,
everything
but
all
that's
together,
what they
kind of,
decided,
you know what I
yeah.
mean?
And that's what they had decided at the time, because it was all over the place.
Okay.
It was really confusing, because then people didn't know if it was, something was coming from the city as official, or if something was coming as a promotion,
Yeah.
so. They kind of
So right now,
made a decision at
like
that
you said, city design on the street, street
Right.
design in here.
Right.
Then we also have to look at the logo for parks, the logo for
Right.
PAC, and different.
Right.
T-Bid, yeah.
And T-Bid,
Yes.
and just how all these
And
things
even
fit
animal
together.
control has their own,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
so.
So see if there's any way that we could start cataloging these, defining them, and if anything needs
Well,
a
it's-
redesign.
I think that's the next
Color
one.
palette or something.
Yeah. But yeah, those were my initial notes.
So we could get with the city clerk to get more information on this.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Any other questions?
Good.
Eric?
On the style guide, I know they have it, it's on the social media thing they did a while back when they were redoing the social media policy, because I just was looking at that the other day, they have just the colors, the fonts and so forth. Anyway, so I just wanted to comment on the master plan. I know, Commissioner Lyons, I was in your store and I brought in the style guide for the Bond Forest Towns things I was looking at.
Yeah.
I think that's a great reference point for, you know, even though it's not, it will just be for here. And that's kind of what I was going at. I know when I posted about the empty downtown and stuff, we had a back and forth on it. But, you know, and I get that, like, the plaza's doing good and your corner 62 is doing good, but my concern mainly was for when I see people coming across and this is closed, we have the self-storage thing, and then you have Mike's Restaurant, you know, Ground Squirrel not, you know, packed, because that's what I was getting at. My main concern, like I said, is the traffic there. And that's what I said, I think wayfinding, so people drive by at 65 miles an hour, 70 miles an hour sometimes, and I mean, it would be nice to get through the corner 62, but they don't, I mean, unless they're slowing down to look to the left, they're gonna miss you guys.
Oh, I absolutely agree.
So I think that's why we need something like this. I think that's a great thing, but I think that's a great example. I know you have that binder. If you have it still, that would be something to look at.
For sure, thank you.
I wanted to chat about, just, on the master plan two, public art and temporary exhibits. I love the groundwork exhibit. I'm not sure how that whole process worked. You guys did the moving signs by the students, but I think that was great. One of the artists, I'm working with two artists on some things we're doing with the JTGCA. I know you guys know Gubby Beck, the sculpturist, and Bo. They're doing some great things. I'm hoping to do some pop-ups over here. And then secondarily, with Gubby, we were talking about how hard her sculpture was to move and so forth. So it would be great to do more things like that you can move. Because they asked about how to get into Freedom Plaza, and no one really knew, you know, because we're like that. Murals, we were talking about vandalism at the Yucca Valley thing last night. I did.
Oh, were you?
I brought up our misfit thing, because, you know, our misfit, I let them know about the 3 murals, but, you know, we gotta make sure we stay on top of that. And I think that were the main things. I just wanted to talk about the style guide. I think it would be great if we could get something like that. And then lastly, for the students getting the college involved, and in case anyone knows, like, you know, people that just graduated or whatever, there are openings in Mayor Droz. He teaches at the college. He teaches AutoCAD and design. I know it's not really painting art, but it is art, and you get, I think that right now you get free access to the software and stuff, so that program is open, so they're still looking to fill that program. I'm actually gonna take it next semester. Thank you.
Cool, thank you, Eric.
Any more notes on the master plan? Administrator contract timing, I think we went over, we're good. Plaque for 29, yeah, there's no, nothing to vote on there. Chuck and I are working on the copy, getting that squared away. Strategic planning committee, any updates there?
Not real, I mean, a lot of what's happening, strategic plan and city master plan are very much piggybacking. And I'm moving, I have had no physical or mental bandwidth really for anything else. But that comes to an end a week from Friday. So I'll be able to get back on it.
Yeah, we talked about it. There's no update right now. Okay, so do we think we need to revisit or do any sort of follow-up with the strategic planning subcommittee on the next master plan?
I would absolutely love, I think we need to do that regularly, just so we're communicating.
I'm all for it. You said you're gonna be booked up at the end of next week?
Yes.
Pick out a day the following week.
So now
Of course, that ends July 31st. Well, let's see, how about Tuesday the 29th? How about?
This is
Watch this.
I almost wanna go for a walk.
We could do Tuesday the 29th of July if you're free then.
We can make it happen. I mean,
Okay.
I don't have any, hearing days that day, so.
Okay, so I'm writing that and I will email Ms. Sareen.
Okay, and what time would you like?
Well, if Sareen is coming, we don't want it too early. About 10:30. Would 10:30 work for you?
That's fine. And, I'm putting on my calendar now, so I'm gonna put you down from 10:30 to 11:30. And, okay, you're set up.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Updates from exhibitions. Probably, should go.
The show was great. I thought that it was a good show. I think that it was representative of what Sunspot is, which is a community-based show. I know that art is subjective, but community is not. So it was based in community, and I think that it was. I really like to see Sunspot in doing something outside of what they normally do. And I like to see things that are different. So it was very interactive, I thought, and a lot of the pieces from like blinking lights or the vending machine or like stuff you can put your hands on and stuff was interactive. It was really family friendly. There was a lot of good feedback on it.
Yeah.
So
I attended as well, and I want to note too that I thought it was really lovely. I thought that that night community was you could really feel not just in the space itself, but because we were running an event at Corner, and so I was walking back and forth from Corner to the Visit 29 building, and downtown felt so vibrant because people were walking back and forth, and it was lovely, and I felt like people were really engaged with the work, and I loved the vending machine. I heard multiple people talk about that, and I thought that it was nice to see a little bit of elevated, you know what I mean, have a food truck outside and have Destiny with Desert Midnight Lemonade. And I know, again, I agree with you, Angeles, that's art is subjective, but community is very much not. And I think that with this current iteration of the pack, that inclusivity is really important to us. And I think that it was, I think the inclusivity was very much on display at that show. And I thought Heather did a great job in facilitating everything. I thought Walker did a great job in putting everything together. I know that the group struggled with getting everything together the day of, and that was not anyone's fault. That was just the delicate dance of putting on an art show. And I think, like you said, it's nice to see the various kinetic energy of it. Like when the lights are off at night and there's a couple of things that are lit up in there, that's really cool. We were talking last night about the way that the stained glass piece like shifts its color throughout the day. So, you know, I understand, you know, not to nitpick or anything. I understand where different people's perspectives are, but I thought that it achieved what it was set out to achieve, and I thought it was lovely. So I want to congratulate Sunspot and Heather.
So as far as exhibitions committee is, do we need to work on the master plan with the exhibition subcommittee?
yes, I think.
Okay, when would you like?
Well, we probably have to get with Zareen.
I'm gonna work with your calendar and invite her, and then we'll go from
Yeah,
there. in case
I'm
you
pretty
want.
flexible the next week or so. Things are kind of slowing down, I think, around here.
Okay, you wanna do, next Thursday? Thursday the 24th?
Yeah, that'll work.
Okay, what time would you like?
That's 11.
That's fine. Okay, so,
Yeah, we've already been working on it. Yeah, Zareen, actually, she had a whole lot of questions for Brianne, but most of those questions were all answered in previous exhibitions, and then I got some from you, and then I pulled some from MAC that they had, and so I sent those all over, so all of those questions should be answered, and we should be moving forward with all that.
and you're set up.
Can I ask a question? Is there somebody scheduled for the fall?
No, not yet.
Because remember, it's art tours and Pioneer Days, so it's pretty important.
Yeah, that's why I'm kind of like taking it, thinking about it slowly and want to discuss with Zareen, but I know that the next one is a pretty big, impactful, time frame, whoever is going to have it. But right now, it's open, yeah, for discussion for sure.
Would it be, do you think, worth a conversation to try and, loop in all the 29 farm artists that are doing art tours and have a kind of an exhibition of those folks in that space as well?
Yeah, I think definitely worth the conversation for sure.
Cause that's an easy,
Tie-in.
it's an easy, I mean, that's an easy list to get, cause the list is already out, we could just access everybody who's here in 29. And with Pioneer Days, like Anna said, there will be, my understanding is the street's not closed the whole day this year, which is good for the art tours studios, but there will be, you know, a lot of activity downtown for that whole weekend, so that showcase the art tours artists in that space would be cool.
Yeah, we just have to work with, Brianne to like line up the dates accurately and everything, and the current show, and then, yeah, we can definitely, I think that's a great idea.
Existing and future programs arts committee. Well, I think we got the list done, we got trucks and.
Yeah, and
copies being ready.
I finally I'm hearing back from, the folks down in Desert Hot Springs who put together the big mural initiative down there. I'm gonna meet with them hopefully next week. Basically, they're just like, what walls do you have, and let's see what we can do. So I think this will be a process, it will be like everything, a long process of kicking a can down the road. But, between us and then between now with 60 plus members of Rediscover 29 many of which are business owners that own buildings, I think that we are in a good position to get some people offering up wall space to get some murals up, and I think that also is a good, if we can get some people who own property in that arts corridor on Adobe, if we can kind of start there, then we can start to organically make that happen. So, this is all sort of in the air, but I hope to meet with them next week, and then I should have, I know I've said this the last 2 meetings, but I should actually hopefully finally have, some more information next week. They're artists as well, so we know what that's like to work with.
A question on the budget, is there for some of the like the existing murals that are falling apart, like the flood one is crusting or whatever, like is there any budget or plan to like rehab some of the murals that need help, or like, is that part of the plan, or?
That is something that we are looking into. I think to just either repair one of those larger murals would eat up our budget so quick. And so we need to find a responsible way to go about finding the funds to get those repaired. Yeah, I definitely think that should be put at the forefront, even before adding new arts to the corridors, who needs to be repaired. So yeah, thanks for bringing that up.
Cool.
And I think, you know, also when it comes to restoration versus new art is something that anybody can kind of, you know, business owners or folks in the community can take take the initiative themselves, whereas with restoration, that's something we do need to take the initiative on. However, that is also, you know, a lot of the public art in the community we're not actually the stewards of. That's Action 29's jurisdiction, and so that's something we would work together with Leanne on as well. But you know me, you guys have heard me beating this horse for a year and a half now, that my dream eventually is that we're restoring a couple murals a year and getting a couple new murals up every year. But you know, with our budget currently, that's not really, that's the dream. It's not the reality. But I also appreciate you bringing that up, Eric, because I do think that's really important. And that's also part of why we want to kind of get that, why I put the Google map together, so that when we're out in the community and we're near something, we can assess it and, you know, figure out what are the top priorities as far as restoration go.
Yeah, and also just, Leanne, let us know if there's anything we can do, and do you need more people on Action 29? Should we be hunting to help people carry more weight?
And with the flash flood mural, what's interesting is that particular wall, cause I had David Green go over there with me. You know, we have a variety of murals, and you can tell that the paint is literally peeling, just like house paint.
Yeah.
The problem is there's 3 vents at the very top, in which when it rains, all that water comes down on that side of the wall. I don't think that was considered at the time that the mural was put up, and that's something for you guys to think about with what you're talking about with these new artists. Is how is the wall as far as water runoff and things of that nature? So, you know, that's something I'm gonna talk to Art Mortimer about to see what the cost would be for restoration. You know, but that's really the pending problem right now with that particular mural. Every mural has its issue, but that one, for whatever reason, it's peeling the way that it is, to where it's pulling away from the brick, so the brick is very, you know, it's very visible. So it, you know, here we go back to the prep thing, cause that was always the big argument, okay? Who prepped the wall before the paint went on? Based on the way that looks, it doesn't seem that the wall was properly prepped.
And we face a lot of unique challenges in a community like 29 Palms environmentally as well, that, for example, a place like LA isn't facing, because we are facing extreme heat, we're facing crazy winds, we're facing, you know what I mean? So sometimes there's no amount of prep that you could do that could prevent that from happening, but I do think it is something to consider for future murals going forward. And again, we've talked about this a little bit, about having a little bit in the budget for example, like sealants and things like that, so that when there is issues with tagging and graffiti, that's a little bit easier to clean up. And that's again,
But that
Blue sky
mural
thinking,
was
but-
sealed,
yeah.
okay, so this,
How old is
you
it?
know, this is,
Can you remind me, is that one that's facing
It's
north?
right here, just right here.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But that one was sealed, that's why David, Green was able to remove the misfit
Okay.
spray paint on it. But that's why I said, this is really a unique challenge, because at the time, I know Art used the best paint available, which I'm
Absolutely.
assuming was the Nova paint. But again, I'm gonna talk more with him about it, because that particular mural is, it's a favorite. You
Would
know
we
what I'm
say
saying?
if we were, and again, this is all down the road type thing, but if we were saying like, is that number one on the list for you of murals that you would like to see
I would
restored?
say for right now,
Okay.
because it's definitely very historical, but it has problems, and the question is, you know, here we go back to, when do you retire a mural and when do you restore it? You know what I'm saying? Because we did have to, retire one of Chuck's murals.
Right.
And we had to retire the Neighbors in Nature one with the Eiferts mural. So, you know, again, that's the thing, but I've had many people tell me that Flash Flood is a mural that they really, really appreciate.
Do you remember what year that went up by, just off the top of your head?
Yeah, I can tell you in a minute.
Well, this is why we have one.
That's lovely, perfect.
Yeah, it's on the list as well.
I love it.
Yeah, mural 13, whatever
1998?
13 is.
98. Cool.
Yeah, so, you know, that's kind of part of it too.
I mean, all things considered, that's actually
Let's
a
talk
pretty,
about that.
it's a pretty good
It
condition.
actually
Yeah.
has, but when I noticed that, when David pointed that out to me, I just wanna bring that to your attention,
Something that probably
because
wasn't even really taken into consideration when it was installed.
I don't,
Yeah.
and I don't even know if they were there at the, well, they would have had to have been there,
Yeah.
but nonetheless, again, I just don't think when murals were going up that some
That
of
wasn't
those
being
things
considered.
were considered.
Sure, totally.
And then, just because the number of art that the city actually owns itself is so small, do you know if these building owners are receptive to things being repaired or helping? Is there- are there any
Absolutely,
business
now,
owners,
yeah,
like,
some financially can, Paul, others are not in a position, so it's something that I would need to talk to that particular building owner on. So I'll talk with Art and find out what, you know, what it would be to restore. As you know, and Anna has done it as well, you start getting into talking restoration, I mean, it's almost like buying a new house, you know,
It's
and
a whole
that's
new
the
mural.
thing, you know, because you're, like she says, these new artists can come up and they can put it up for nothing.
you know,
And that's kind of the situation we're in these days, is that people are willing to put a mural up for free, just to put it on Instagram.
you know,
So, I don't know, that's why I say, but it is a historical mural, and it is one that I've had, many comments on, you know, about, the significance of it, because it is, and I mean, Art, you know, he's got a very, you know, him, Chuck, everybody, Anna, everybody has a unique way of interpreting, you know, their, image, and it really is a beautiful piece,
Definitely.
yeah.
Alright, existing and future art subcommittee, for the Arts Master Plan, you wanna set up a meeting to discuss that? They can do it at your shop too, if that's better.
I'm like, I do wanna do that, but my next few weeks are packed full. I probably am not really available until after, I'm like, until August, honestly.
She's like, September's with
Yeah,
you.
literally, I'm like, literally,
Far off as you think.
and I'm like, literally, my next free week is like the week of August 18th.
Wow.
For better or for worse.
Well, this is.
But I can do
As
some-
long as we can get
yeah.
our act together for the whole, by the end of the year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think that's the goal. So we can set up now, we can set it up, talking about it later.
let's take that,
Table that.
let's table that for next month.
Okay. that's
I'll be in a much better position to know what my, my next few weeks are gonna be looking like next month versus right now.
any other questions concerning existing future public arts?
think we're good.
Pack Arts Advocate of the Year.
We will, probably that'll be something we'll start moving on next month as well.
Yeah, we talked about
We
that.
wanted to get the call out in September so that people can start,
Yeah, it's a little early.
yeah, so,
I mean, you got 5 more months, so we'll have to.
yeah. I think if we get it out in fall, then we have plenty of time to get out of it, so.
PR Committee.
I'm moving.
It's summer.
But we will certainly, keeping in mind, what was said earlier, what Anna said earlier about wanting help reaching out if this music thing happens.
Mm-hmm.
That certainly is putting a fire under me to, in August, Sarah and I will, will meet sometime after. the
After Area
18th.
29.
After Area 29,
Yeah.
we will be.
Okay, future items, is there anyone to kick out any of these items on the next agenda?
I would love to start, even though I have no report on it, I would like to see the Performing Arts Subcommittee
No.
be something that is regularly listed on here.
We can do that. Who's on the performing arts?
Us two.
Arita and Janelle?
And that might be something we do wanna have a meeting about,
Okay.
since that is one
Part
of the
of the
things that
things
we're
on the master plan.
defining and all of that.
You guys, if you wanna set up the time to go, let's,
He's
now's the
just
time.
going buck wild today with his
He
appointments,
is.
huh? He just-
Look, we're moving things along, we're being productive.
How
I don't
about,
have meetings just to have meetings, but
Janelle, how is your life the first full week of August?
August should be okay.
So,
I mean, I don't really know it's like weeks before, but throw it on there.
so can we set something up, and what time of day is good for you?
The morning or later in the evening, so it'd have to be the morning. for
Okay.
keep, Yeah,
So, 10 o'clock on Tuesday the 5th?
you can do that.
before he gets too hungry.
Yes. 10.
I'm calling it live art because I know performance art is I'm learning that one.
So we can include performance art. in
Performing and
arts.
performance.
Okay.
Alright, and, just a heads up, after Heather wraps up these last, little grant things, she's gonna be taking a break.
Much
So,
deserved.
Much deserved. When do you expecting to come back?
I don't know, I was thinking, isn't August pretty much a dead month? Kind of, I mean, I would be willing to come to any meetings,
Yeah.
that are called upon, like go to any meetings or training sessions or whatever, but I was just thinking if they could basically right after I wrap these up, like most of the month, of August, just lay on the down low, because basically also, I've already used all of the, funds, basically for this year, for this month already, so like, I'm trying to conserve, funds as well, so I've already surpassed the amount of, hours I'm supposed to have this month, so.
Yeah.
I need a break personally,
Yeah.
and I think the admin funds need a break.
Okay.
So, yeah, that works, just let me know